If you've been cutting salt to lose weight and the scale still won't move, that low salt habit might be the very thing switching your fat storage on. Are you eating clean, avoiding the shaker, and still holding weight around your middle? Still puffy? Still tired in a way sleep doesn't fix? As a nurse with autoimmune disease who's lived the weight that won't budge, I'll show you how salt quietly grows fat cells, the one kind of salt that can backfire for women like us, and a simple morning fix you can try tomorrow. Because this is right where so many of us get dismissed. Here's what I want you to hear first. If you've spent years shaking less salt onto your food because someone told you it was the enemy, and you're heavier and more worn out than ever, that's not you failing at willpower. Your body is not broken, it's burdened. And one of those burdens might be a basic mineral you've been starving your body of without even knowing. We've all been trained to fear salt. Cut the salt, save your heart, watch the weight fall off. But for a lot of women over 50, the opposite is happening. When your body runs low on sodium, it doesn't just shrug and carry on, it panics. And a panicked body does not burn fat, it stores it. Let me show you why. When your sodium drops too low, your body flips on an emergency system. Your adrenal glands start pumping out two hormones with clunky names, aldosterone and angiotensin. Their whole job is to grab onto every last bit of salt you've got left. Smart, right? Except those same hormones don't stop at your kidneys. They travel all the way to your fat cells and knock on a little door built right into them. And when they knock, they tell those fat cells to swell up and hold on, getting inflamed in the process. So the less salt you eat, the louder your body screams to hold on, and the more it tips your fat cells towards storing instead of burning. There's a second problem stacked on top of that. Running low on salt also nudges your insulin up. And insulin is the master hormone that tells your body to store fat and cling to it. I've also made other videos specifically on insulin resistance, and we'll put those at the end of this video. And I'll also point you to a free guide for that in a minute. But here's the short version. High insulin plus these salt panicked hormones is like pressing the fat storage pedal with both feet at one time. I lived the low fat, low salt life for years. I ate exactly what I was told, and I salted almost nothing, and I kept gaining weight that made no sense to me. I grew up as an athlete, and I never, ever had a weight problem until later in life. And then no amount of cutting back seemed to touch it. Nobody ever once told me my body might be running on empty on a mineral that's basic. But here's where it gets even more personal for women like us. If you're over 50 or you're living with a stressed out nervous system, your adrenals are already working overtime. That wired but tired feeling where you're exhausted, but your body won't settle, that's your stress system stuck in the on position. And a stressed stress system pumps out even more of these salt holding, fat storing hormones. So low salt hits a woman like you a lot harder than it hits some calm 30-year-old. There's an energy piece here almost nobody talks about. And I wish someone had explained it to me years ago. Every single cell in your body runs a tiny pump that shuttles sodium and potassium in and out. That little pump is how your nerves fire and your muscles move. And it burns a huge chunk of your energy every day. When you're low on sodium, that pump starts to sputter and you feel that as fatigue, not a regular tired, that heavy, bone deep tired that a full night of sleep doesn't match. I know that kind of tired in my own body. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue many years ago from sky high obscene barcodes and basically was told to just live with it. And that was not a lot of help. And that's what pushed me into researching integrative and functional health solutions. And what I've learned since is that the small stuff, the minerals, the boring basics, is so often where the real energy has been hiding the whole time. Now, before you go, do not dump the whole salt shaker into everything you eat. Number one, it would taste horrible, but there is a catch here. Most people do get this completely wrong. Not all salt is the same. And this next part is one I really want women with thyroid issues to hear. Regular white table salt is stripped down and packed with anti caking chemicals. It doesn't give your body the trace minerals it's actually craving. So reach for the real stuff instead, like Celtic salt, and that's what I use. Redmond real salt is great, or a good Himalayan salt is also great. But here's the piece the big weight loss videos leave right out. A lot of them tell you to grab iodized salt. If you have Hashimoto's or any kind of autoimmune issue, please be careful with that. For some of us, a sudden jump in iodine can actually stir a thyroid up and set off a flare. I have Hashimoto's myself, so I do not play around with loading up on iodine through my salt. I get my minerals from unrefined salt like the Celtic salt, and I let my thyroid support come from my food and my provider, not from a shaker. That's the kind of small detail that only really shows up when you've been on both sides of the exam room like I have. And if that insulin piece from earlier is ringing bells for you, I did put together a free insulin resistance guide that walks through how to calm that fat storage signal down without going to extremes. It's linked in the description below, and there's no strings attached. Okay, so, what do you actually do with all of this information? Here's the simple part start your morning with minerals, not just plain water. A quarter teaspoon of a good mineral salt stirred into a glass of warm water when you wake up gives your body the sodium it needs before your stress hormones spike for the day. A lot of us in the functional world and integrative world take it one step further with something called an adrenal cocktail. It's nothing fancy, just a little mineral salt, something with potassium in it, like coconut water, and a bit of vitamin C. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but sodium and potassium work as a team. And most women over 50 are running low on both. That's the trick the internet keeps missing. Don't just flood your body with salt and call it a day. Balance it. Salt your home cooked food without that fear and eat the potassium foods right alongside it. The avocado, the leafy greens, a baked potato with the skin on. When your body finally feels safe and stocked up on minerals, it can quiet those fat storing hormones down all on its own. And one more little move. If you go for a walk or a workout, a pinch of salt in your water beforehand can steady your energy so you're not running on fumes halfway through. Now, I can already hear someone worrying about their blood pressure, and I hear you because this does matter. So stay with me for a second. For most people, salt only moves blood pressure by a point or two at the very most. What really drives high blood pressure for so many women is insulin resistance, which forces the body to clamp down and hold on to salt in the first place. So the real fix isn't fearing your salt shaker, it's calming the thing that actually is spiking your insulin, the refined flour and the sugar. And I know the weight loss shots are everywhere right now. And I'm not here to shame any person for their choices, but I'll be honest about what gives me pause as a nurse. A big share of the weight loss on those drugs can come from your muscle. And muscle is exactly what protects us as we get older. Your body already comes with quieter tools built in. And if you are on a GLP-1, please make sure you're doing weightlifting and weight strengthening to keep your muscle and also build it. This humble mineral as salt is one of them. So when you put the whole picture together, it changes. It was never really about salt being some villain. It's about a body that's low on a key mineral, high on insulin, and stuck in stress mode, all whispering the same quiet message: store fat and hold on. Give your body the minerals it's been missing, steady that insulin, and calm those tired adrenals. And that message can finally flip the other way. One honest note before I let you go: this is education and not medical advice. If you have kidney disease, heart failure, or you're on blood pressure medication, please don't make big changes to your salt without talking to your provider first. And if something in your body feels really off, get curious and then go get it checked. And before you go, please tell me in the comments, when you added real salt back into your life, what shifted first for you, your energy or those salt cravings? I read all of these and I love hearing what your body tells you. If this gave you even one new way to look at your own body, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, and please share it with another woman who's been told to cut her salt and still can't figure out why she feels so off. Remember, your body isn't broken, it's burdened. And when you understand those burdens, you can finally begin supporting your body in the way it's needed all along. Please take care of yourself because you deserve to feel better. And remember, we're all in this together. I'll see you in the next one.